Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Harebrained Games. Happy New Year to everyone. We are starting out 2018 with a bang, as always. I was not the slightest bit disappointed with 2017. I know there are mixed feelings on the subject, but I had a great year. God has been good. I've been very blessed, both in the realm of games and just life in general. Lots of ups, lots of downs, but in every way I was cared for. No complaints. And on that regard, let's get right to the news. No complaints about that. All right, so this is the year. Could this be the year? Could 2018 be the year that we finally get a worthy successor to Merchants and Marauders, one of the better pirate games I have ever played? I've always enjoyed that game, although I've always felt like there could be variants of that or competitors that stressed a little bit more of the pirate fighting and such. I have never yet come to a game that's come close, but this might be it because we're announcing the shipping, or Kickstarter, a group from Kickstarter is announcing the shipping of the Pirate Republic, which looks to be maybe finally the worthy successor to Merchant Marauders, and that will be shipping in January. So we're looking forward to seeing that, and you'll probably see a review of it once I get it to my table when it arrives. Next, I want to, we don't have a lot of new games like being announced per se. There's a lot of companies announcing games of 2018, but they're so far askew, and I don't take that far of estimates too reliably. But there are going to be a lot of top 10 games of 2017 lists out there. Pretty much everyone and their brother, including myself, but not my brother, are going to be doing top 10 games lists, and those are interesting. They get a little old. You can skip through them at times and stuff, but in general, it is kind of good to know what people are playing. If you're interested in board games at all, these are probably the games that will be the highlights to look for if you get some opportunity to purchase a game and you're curious of what kind. Or you can always ask me. Finally, also keep in mind this year that even though we're starting the new year, this is usually the time when fundraisers are in full force. Now, last month, BoardGameGeek.com has its annual fundraiser. Now, this is the single most important resource for board gaming there is. Whether you love or despise the community, because it can be glorious and it can be caustic, the fact that it is the best resource for board gaming there is, flat out, bar none. There's a lot of great websites out there for games, but this one is absolutely the granddaddy of them all. And I always contribute every year because I get plenty of value out of it, including ways to host videos. Also, the Dice Tower, which is another large conglomerate now of board gaming reviewers and such, also does a fundraiser that will be starting this week. So keep that in mind as you are entering into the new year. If you are more than a casual board game aficionado, or those sites have brought you any value in your life, then maybe consider donating to them. And with that, let's get to our question of the week. Okay, so what are my top 3 predictions for 2018? These are predictions on trends that I think might be of interest or might actually occur. Otherwise, I wouldn't be predicting them. First, I think that we're going to see a lot more legacy or / campaign games. These seem to be growing immensely. By that I mean that games that either have consumable, permanent missions over time, where you play the game a series of times and it changes permanently, or campaigns where we're going to see more of kind of a rolling mission by mission, game by game kind of experience. We've seen those growing, and I think we're going to see some games even being retrofit for that, just because of the popularity that seems to be becoming the industry because of it. And that's my first prediction. The second prediction is that I think we're going to see a lot more narrative in stories. Now, by that I mean that I'm seeing a trend where a lot more games are coming out with the storyline being immersive and incorporated into part of the gameplay itself. To what degree, I don't know, but I do see that trend, and I think it's going to continue into 2018, where we're going to see a lot more sort of story-based kind of gaming. Maybe even kind of starting to break into the game RPG kind of melding kind of thing going on. And I'm excited for that because I think that's kind of my favorite type of game. That's the second prediction. The third prediction is I think we're going to see sort of a flatlining not the death of, but a flat line of app-driven games. By that I mean games like First Martians and XCOM and such, where we're going to see that apps driving games isn't going to grow. I don't think it's going to shrink, but I don't think it's going to grow in the same way that other trends have. I think that we're going to come into, well, we found that certain games like Imperial Assault and Descent have like absolutely benefited from app-driven gameplay. I think we're going to see that just kind of continue in the same fashion, where it's going to go to certain game styles and fit the games, but in large, it's not going to become a mass element. And those are my 3 predictions of 2018. We will find out next year whether I was right. With that, let's get to our 3 games of the week. Okay, first game, Fortress. Now, I've already talked to you about Fear, the first in the Fast Forward series from Friedman Freeze. Fortress is a different vein of game than Fear. Haven't played it yet, but it's one of the games I'm looking forward to trying out. I definitely enjoyed Fear. You can see my review of it here on Harebrained Games in the YouTube videos list. But this is one I'm very curious about, to see what he does differently in this that he does in Fear. And if they're too similar or not, we'll find out. Second, I am excited to finally get my hands on Gaia Project. Now, those of you who know board gaming know that Terra Mystica is one of the higher rated games, or one of the more well-respected games. Some people don't like it, and I understand, and some people just adore it, and I understand. I'm kind of in the middle. The Gaia Project takes the theme of Terra Mystica, which was fantasy creatures in a fantasy world, and creates instead a space conquest game. I am excited to try this out. Just picked it up a couple days ago. It is hefty. I mean, the box is very, very heavy. There's a lot of pieces to it and a lot of parts to it. So you'll probably see a review of this as well. Gaia Project. And finally, I haven't even opened the shrink wrap on this sucker. Spirit Island. Now, I hadn't heard much about it, except that it was a game where you were on an island and you were basically defending that island from those evil, mean settlers coming in to take over somehow, some way. But I've heard it has a superlative solo play, and that it is very entertaining, and once again kind of tells a rich story, where you're cooperating to keep the the cooperative settler destruction strategy game. So Spirit Island looks great. I can't wait to open it up. If I was an unboxing man, I would be unboxing it right now. But Spirit Island. So those are my 3 games of the week. And with that, we wrap up this week. We thank you for all that you guys have listened to, and listened to my yammerings all of last year. We're going to keep going with the same format of my week in games, followed by any reviews or such that come around. I encourage you all to just play games with friends, play games, have fun, get in that community, and socialize. I know as a video game developer that I absolutely love video games, but nothing replaces human contact and human socialization, not a good thing. And so that ends this particular episode. We thank you. Welcome to 2018, and we'll see you again on Harebrained